All right. Welcome, everyone, to Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Ken McBee, visiting you here from a nice sunny 70-degree Phoenix day. We know a lot of you are out there in the inclement weather right now and hope that everybody's being safe. We come to you today with just overall some updates like we had promised we'd do this once a month. So, with us, we have Andy Meyer. He is our VP of Owner Ops and Company Retention. We have Brett Stewart, who is our terminal leader in Phoenix and also our future VP of Owners and Company Retention, and myself. So, really, we're the three folks that are, besides a great team behind us, that have the ability to be the advocates for our drivers like you, and are here to support you every day. So, that's really our roles. Andy?
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hey, I'm happy to be coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona as well. Um, I've been with Swift for going on 30 years, and as Ken kind of led up to, I'm going to be leaving Swift at the end of the year, and I'm excited about Brett filling in on the position behind me. We're very focused on the owner operator group and the driver retention. So it's a great group to work with, and I'm looking forward to seeing Brett get up to speed here with Ken and I through the end of the year.
Excellent. Welcome, Brett. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you very much. Excited for the opportunity, and I've worked with some of you already in my 14 years with Swift, but really get really excited to get to know you all more. And I'll be sharing my contact information as well with each and every one of you. So thanks, guys.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, today we wanted to take some time, like we had promised, we'd try to do this once a month, to give you some of the initiatives. Is one part of this that we're looking at for November and December, but then also to give you some updates on projects that we have going on. I'm sure we'll just jump right into this. This is probably the easiest way. Uh, One of the first projects that we're working on is ECT. Uh, ECT is a project near and dear. That's our extended coverage team. To my heart, I feel we really need to support you at all times. We've heard some feedback on social media on over surveys and other things. We understand that it's not the best environment right now. That it's not totally broken. We still have a lot of good folks, but we're working through some of those problems right now, and we'll get there. So I would just tell you that the project teams we're going to give you right now, just know that they're being worked on. Stuff doesn't change overnight, but yet we're committed to change through the next 2 to 6 months. So Andy or Brett, do you have any comments on ECT and your thoughts are?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see the changes coming along. We do hear a lot about nighttime coverage, weekend coverage. We hear what you're saying out there. It is a difficult situation because you are handling the whole country, with a lot less people. So, bear with us. We're going to get this figured out. It's Ken's putting together a great plan. We're going to have a great team that will be able to pick up the ball and keep running with it, throughout the night and early morning and into the weekend. So I'm excited. There are going to be good changes.
We do have recs posted. We're starting to hire additional staff, right? The one thing I would give you as feedback to the drivers is realize that the size of the staff during the day is substantially bigger than the size of the staff at night. Now we are going to improve that, but with that in mind, sometimes understand if when you call in, if those folks are maybe hurrying a little, where normally you'd say, "Hey, how you doing? How's the weather?" Any of that, maybe some of the small talk. It doesn't happen as much because they're right to the point of, "Oh, you need your fuel re-upped, you need this." And if you're just straight to the point, it could be somebody on the other line that's holding that is inclement weather. Their truck broke down or anything like that. So always keep that in the back of your mind as we look at that stuff. And then also, too, try to take care of your business during the day, of course, with your driver leader, fleet leader, terminal leader. They are there to take care of you at all times, too. So we understand at night there's things that happen. We have the wrong pickup numbers. We have other issues that come up, breakdowns, other things. But we'll make sure we get this tightened up, and we'll have a better experience for you on our extended coverage team. All right.
Brett, anything on that?
I would just say, yeah, keep your information flowing. We hear you. You want to be able to call and your call be answered without waiting for long hold times or being bounced around. So that's exactly what we're working on, and we thank you for that feedback. So more to come with that.
Yeah, great point. So that was kind of what I was looking for. Is we know that there's some phone issues out there, and we have been um, moving to new systems, and there's been numbers that have fallen, through. But we know it's out there. We know we're working on it. In fact, we had a call today. We're making progress, and it's going to be interesting if Ken gets it figured out. But we'll give you a lot less numbers to call in on, because I imagine today you got a pretty long list of, when you're looking for somebody to get a hold of, it's probably a long list of numbers. So Ken's going to consolidate that and make it a lot easier on you to get somebody live on the phone to help you out.
Excellent. All right, our next topic, Million Mile Trucks. This is a cool new program. We started with all our 3 million milers, and we're working our way down. We have our first couple hundred trucks out there now. Know that we do have the next set, which would be about 300 trucks that we're going to order. It won't be till next month, and those trucks will be coming in towards the end of February or into March. It's just during this time, it's a little slower. But you will be getting text messages. And we started at the top. We're working our way to the bottom. So we're into the 2 million milers now, and some of the higher 1 million milers. So you should be getting a text. Some folks have got a text and they didn't respond. So we're also having to add them in as they respond back. So, or maybe it was a wrong number, or there's different things. But we're working through that. We're excited to offer you the different colors. And then there's also a new owner operator, million mile program that I would like Andy to discuss.
Yeah, we did. We got a lot of questions on that. We are happy to roll out the Million Mile program to all the owner operators. It is a combination of all the miles that you've run from company, if you were a company driver with us before you became an owner operator, and then the owner operator, and then the mentor miles. If you were a mentor, those get prorated a little bit. So check in with your driver leader or your owner operator consultant and see where you're at as far as the miles. If you've already reached that goal, you're going to get a text from us. So please make sure that your phone numbers are correct in the system, so we can get that text out to you and you can order your product. It's 2 shirts, 2 hats, a jacket, and then you get to pick out a watch. So we're really excited to be able to recognize all of our million milers, as well as the way the company does too. So appreciate that. Thanks, Ken.
All right. Next topic, we'd like to talk about home time and planning. We definitely have heard your voice on that, again, through surveys, through Voice Your Choice, through other avenues, just overall driver feedback. We understand that definitely you guys want to be home when you ask. And we need to make sure we're planning ahead to get you there. There's really our side. So let's talk about that first. We have a whole team that I assure you is committed to walking through how we plan home times, how we schedule them, even the systems that you're requesting them in. So all of that's being done now. We hope to have some countermeasures here in the next 30 days. So we're really just going through verifying all the information. We've got great reporting now, and we want to make sure that we improve that process. So sometimes it's not just the fact that you want to get home, right? It's the fact of more frequency. We even have a team of folks that's working on that too. So just know that's in the process. With that being said, what's the piece that you can help us with right now? I would say there's 2 items right now that we really need to focus on. We're at that time of year where there is a lot more home time requests than normal, right? So we do have Christmas coming up. We have New Year's. We have Thanksgiving. So we want to make sure that, hey, communicate fast and early with your support staff. Anybody in ops, let them know what your intentions are, right? Especially your driver leader, fleet leader, terminal leader. We need to make sure we get those on the books. We need to make sure that we get you there on time. But what we can't have is last minute, right? And those are fine in some cases where it's an emergency, but don't wait till like the week right before Thanksgiving, then be upset that, hey, I'm in Virginia, I need to be in California. So please give us ample time to work on those. Again, we're working through the processes there. We just wanted to let you know that we hear you. We are working on it, and home time and planning is very important to us and you.
Hey, Ken, a couple questions have popped in. If I could, one of
Okay.
them has to do with owner operators and talking about a fuel discount or a fuel savings out there. We do. We have an agreement right now with the three majors, and we do pass on fuel savings to the owner operator. So the other way we do that is with our fuel surcharge, obviously on the rate contract on your schedule. So we do try to make fuel as neutral as possible. So we do give, I believe it's a 5-cent discount at the three majors. And then one other question was on the home time policy. What is the home time policy? That's a little bit, you might want to clarify that one a little bit more, but, it used to be 1 day home for every 6 days out. So it was, out for 2 weeks, home for 2 days, but that's not a steadfast rule. And that's not, I don't think, how we're doing it today.
Well,
Yeah,
Brad, I was going to say you're a terminal leader, so please touch on that.
Yeah, and what I speak to my drivers about is just what are your expectations on a paycheck level, and then what is the expectation of the family at home, and how can we meet in the middle? You have to understand that if you want to make $1,000 plus a week, being home every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is probably not as feasible. Now, if you can stay out a lot longer, the more you stay out, the longer you can run, and the more money you'll make. But we just have that conversation with our drivers as what is your expectations, and then let's meet in the middle there. So we don't have any set hard fast rule that you must drive this much to get this time off. It's just life happens and we get it. You might only be able to go out for 5 days this time around and need to be home. Next time you might be able to go out for 14 days. Next time it might be 20 days, and who knows. But to Andy's point and to Ken's point is just communicate with us. Let us know exactly what you need and what's coming up in your life. And we will plan you accordingly to get you back home for that time while still bringing home a good paycheck. So yeah, if you're getting told, it must be this and that, I would just say, let's have a conversation around that and see what's best for both sides.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, we definitely need to talk through that with our terminal leaders, because I think that's a perfect point, that the home time policy is just, we want you to be productive and we want you to be happy, right? We want the truck to be productive too. So how do we meet in the middle? I think that's a perfect answer there, Brett. So appreciate it. All right.
Favorite topic coming up next. Tablets.
Okay. Driver tablets. Yes, they're coming. By our next update, we will have a timeline. We do have some in our trucks already. Just know that if you do get a truck with one, there are some courses you have to take. We're going through all of the rollout now. There's a very few that have them. We're really testing at this point, but here in the near future, as long as everything goes correct, we will be rolling them out fast and furious. So the feedback has been amazing. So we're excited to get you there and get tablets in the truck. So I don't have a lot more details at this point, but I will assure you by the time we give you our next update, we will have a lot more.
Brett, have you seen any of those come through?
I actually have, yeah. We're testing some, as Ken mentioned. We have some really great feedback so far from the local and dedicated drivers that are using them, just breaking them and making sure that they're going to work correctly before we launch it to the rest of the fleet. But just as you expect, yeah, absolutely. Everyone's very excited for that. There's another question that came in too. Can we get shops better staffed? Coming in for a B service and having to wait too long is not beneficial. And we all agree with you. It's not beneficial for us either. Trust me, we're in this together. If your truck isn't delivering freight and running, neither sides are making money. So it is definitely beneficial. We are in direct contact with our shops at all times. They've made a ton of great progress over this past year around scheduling. And we've seen a ton of benefit from that. And maybe Ken and Andrew can speak to this as well. But We've just seen if we communicate ahead of time with our shops as we're coming in for B service or we need to get our A service done and they put us on the books, then we get in and out within a few hours. Now we get it, breakdowns happen and a load might cancel. You don't get there for that time, and we need to work around that schedule. But if you do have feedback around specific shops that you're having difficulty with, we would love to address that. But that's what I would say for that.
Yes, definitely. You know, the other good thing about if your truck's in the shop, and what I've always seen, this is really just developing relationships with those planners and the front window gate folks. Most of the time you can walk up, Brett, and say, hey, do you have some locals you need done? We can pay you for the day and you're still making money. We just give you a different truck that you go run for the day, do locals. So I would encourage you to go to any of those windows, and most folks I feel like are always looking for help. Would you agree? Or Andy, and both of you have been terminal
Absolutely.
leaders.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% agree with that. I mean, we do that here in Phoenix. Hey, grab an overnight bag. Let's do a Vegas and back, LA and back, you know, or
Yeah.
even just help us intra Arizona. With freight as abundant as it is today, we have all sorts of solutions to keep you running. So great point to bring up.
And now is the time to make hay, right? It's now through the end of the year, definitely at least. We see that we're going to be busy through the end of the year. So, and we're busy now. So we need, if you're getting a B service, if you're broke down and you're at a terminal, we definitely could use you in a truck doing something. And
Yeah,
if they're telling you no, get with your terminal leader.
If I could, you know, there was a question out there thrown, are we going to have tablets to the owner operators? We will eventually. You know, first off, we're going to work through the new trucks and then some switch over on the company trucks, but we'll eventually get to the owner operators. We will be swapping those out too when the time comes. So, you know, hang in there. It'll come.
And we should probably have a full update on that when we do our next update, right, Andy? With if there's cost, what will it be? What will it look like? Timelines, all those things, right?
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, one of the questions that came in: are you doing another batch of first responder trucks? Right now, we are negotiating with our vendor. It does look, we don't have the exact number. Don't hold me to this, but we're probably going to do 5 to 7 more, whether it be military, first responders, some charity trucks. So more to come. We'll make sure that we're keeping folks updated in a way that we've had people send in the trucks that they'd like to drive. So that is very important. People really like those, so we'll definitely keep doing those. Our plan is to do some every year. All right. The next one is Mentor Project. So definitely a huge project here. We have Jordan Bean leading this project where it's looking at the whole big picture. How do we train our mentors? How do we train our students? It's one of the first things you'll see coming out here in the near future is a digital road test. Especially with tablets going into trucks, you'll have digital VIP packets, digital actually upgrade tests. Really, our goal is to get away from a lot of the paper and just where, hey, when you're done with the road test, you hit submit and boom, it goes right into the file. It submits right into there. So a lot of upgrades coming in that. I'm very excited about the upgrades you'll see in the next probably 3 to 9 months. Jordan and his team are working feverishly to get those implemented, and things are looking great. So I would tell you the one key that we needed was this tablet project to happen. And as it happens, I think Jordan and his team will start even running faster with how to improve that mentor experience for the mentor and for the student. So good news coming there.
Yeah, and someone just asked about the tablets and if there's a learning curve between the Qualcomm and the tablet. And I would say if you have a smartphone today, there won't be a learning curve. And the best thing about the tablet is what we don't like about the Qualcomm. You don't need to learn macros. Is it a 2? Is it a 4? Is it a 9? Which is it? It's going to be intuitive. You pull into a shipper, it's going to see your location from latitude, longitude, and says, it looks like you've arrived at this shipper. Is that correct? You hit yes, and it says arrived at shipper. And then you do your load call and it says, it looks like you're departing. Are you leaving this shipper? Yes. Did you complete your load call? And then you type in the information. So just following the GPS of that tablet, it's doing those macros for you. So it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. And a lot of the paperwork, as Ken mentioned, where you can scan your paperwork right into the tablet, and all the functionality of that technology brings. So, and not so much of the heartache of the Qualcomm.
Awesome. That's great information.
Very cool. So the next topic that we wanted to touch on was phones and messages. We realized that we really need to go through all of our phone routings, which we're doing that as we speak. We want to make sure we're upgrading the message queues, or the way that you talk to us back and forth through Qualcomm or the new tablet. So there is a team working on that. A lot of this does have to do with the tablet. One thing I want to touch on the phones, though, and I want to make sure that everybody knows, is this is something that you should also have if you ever have a long hold time, if you ever have really an ultimate problem. And Brett, please attest to this if or tell me I'm wrong if I am, but every driver should have every terminal leader, fleet leader, driver leader that they're with, their cell phone number. And we want you to use that. We have, take care of that with our employees in the office. So it's not something that be scared to use. It's something that, sure, do we want to call it 2 a.m. possibly because I just need a trailer attached? No, we'd rather you try ECT and get them to attach it. But if it's a dire situation, we want you to call them. Or even if it's just, hey, I've held for an hour. So please stay in touch with those folks. And Brett, I think you can probably add on to this because you get those calls. It's been Andy and I were terminal leaders in the past. We got those calls, but I mean, tell us what your thoughts is on this situation.
Yeah, you hit it spot on. I mean, I'd much rather my drivers call me no matter what. If you're frustrated or stuck, that's what we're here for. Sure, there's a chain of command. If you've been using that and not getting anywhere, that's where I get involved. But I'm employed by this company and by you all to support you. So that's why my business card just only has my cell phone number on it. There's no need to call the office. Text message works, obviously. If it's not urgent, just text me. And if I'm not on my phone or I'm sleeping, I can just answer it when I wake up. Most terminal leaders, myself included, when we meet new drivers in orientations, the first thing we do is pass out our cards. I send out my cell phone number on Qualcomm a couple of times a year, just saying, hey, if you didn't save this, here's my cell phone number, please save it. And then every time someone messages you on the Qualcomm, if you scroll down, their signature, including their name and cell phone number, is attached to that. So please use that to save that information. But yeah, we want you to call. Please call us if you're in a pickle. That's what we're here to do.
We're definitely here to support you. And no matter who sends you a message over the Qualcomm, whether the top executives or the driver leader, it has those cell phone numbers attached, right? So we're committed as a company to make sure that you have someone to get a hold of. And again, just make sure you use those during these times where, hey, we're actually upgrading our phone system. That's what we're dealing with now, and that's just for the driver experience overall itself. So if there is a miss, there is a lot of I feel like it's an entangled web that when you talk about how complex some of this stuff is. So we're just unraveling it, making sure that it's all right. Every once in a while there might be an error, and we're fixing those. So please make sure that you keep those numbers in case as we go through these projects to make sure everything's fixed. All right.
Hey, Ken, I know there's a lot of comments out there and there's a few shout outs. Some of our owner operators are watching. We appreciate that. Some of the questions that we don't get to, we will definitely, make note of those and get back to you. If you have specific questions, give us a call. Owner operator mentoring is not going to come back. The ones that are mentoring now can stay mentoring, but as those transition, there won't be any more mentoring. So I did see that out there. Hey, we feel like we have one of the best owner-operator programs out there today. We've made 4 rate increases over the past 2 years, so that's more than I think we've ever seen in our owner-operator group. In the years prior to that. So as the market responds, we're going to respond as well. So just make sure that you're voicing your concerns with us, because we want it to be the best program. There are some things that we can and cannot do, but reach out to us. Let us know what we can do to help make your experience better. We want to grow the owner operator division back to 2,000 trucks at least. We're at about roughly 1,800 right now. So we want to keep the owner operators in at this company. You guys do a great job, and definitely are a big part of the company. So we want to get that to beefed up. So appreciate that. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you.
All right, and we've got a couple more topics, but I'd rather maybe dive into some of these comments here. Where one of them, Reggie, you had asked, does Swift have a refamiliarization program for individuals who've been off the truck for a while? So depending, and that's just really go through your recruiter. We can, right? We can put you with a local driver, have you drive for the week. If that's something that we feel like you need to update or upgrade your skills with, maybe the Qualcomm or in the future here, the near tablet. So it's every situation's unique. I would just call and talk through that. But what I would tell you is just come back and we can work through that. And there's some kind of a solution. We are more of a common sense approach to trucking than we've ever been in our since I've been here. So I would just tell you, make sure that if anything, call your old terminal leader back. They'll walk you through it.
I think we got a few of those guys on the chat with us, so that's awesome.
Definitely. Here's a comment from Spencer. Will new drivers get new trucks? Right now, it's the first in, first out. So sometimes it may be that you're a new hire and you get a 2017, which, how amazing is that? Our older trucks are 17s, right? A 2.5 to 3 year old trade cycle. So if you get a 17, you may drive it for a couple months and then it's on the trade list. You go in and you get your brand new 2021. So it's really first in, first out. What we have in for the day, what we've detailed. You may end up with a brand new truck too. So it's really, I would say, luck of the draw. What do you think, Brett?
Yeah, and definitely something that's negotiable. You can look to see what's at that terminal and work with that terminal leader to see what's available. And we want to do what's best for you as well. So, but yeah, there's some different trucks to choose from.
Hey, there's a lot of questions out there too on becoming a driver at Swift, whether you're coming from a school or you going to our school or whatever the case may be. We've been throwing the number up there on the screen. Feel free to reach out on that number. There'll be plenty of people there to answer your questions on either coming to Swift, coming back to Swift, or buying a truck. If you want a opportunity in the owner operator, we're looking for a year worth of experience before you get into a truck, and that's only so that you have a good experience as well with your business. So reach out to us, call the phone number, we'll get back to you for sure.
Excellent.
Anything else, Ken?
No, that's all I have for today.
How about Brett?
No, just thanks for the invite and good to be with you all, and look forward to being on these in the future. And as Andy had mentioned, we'll go through the rest that we haven't answered today and get back to each of you.
Excellent. Thank you for everybody's time.